pray some basic prayers for Lord Sri Krishna. Vamshi Vibhishita Karana Navanirada Pitambara Daruna Bimba Paranarasta Puranendu Sundara Mukha Aravinda Netra Krishna Param Kimapi Tattvamaham na jane Kararavinde Napadarvindam Mukaravinde Viniveshayantam Patasya Patra Sapute Shayanam Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everyone please. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Hurirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktiri Bhavati Nayistike Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anatiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you.
Hare Krishna. So, I was asked to talk about 8.24. So before that, I would like to just take some important points from 8.2, 8.3 to set a base for the 8.24. So in 8.22, Supreme Lord beautifully explaining that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. So there are very powerful statements here. Divine Christ Prabhupada explains very beautifully that although he is present in his abode in Goloka Vrindavan, right? And he is at the same time all pervading. Pervading means entire creation, entire cosmic manifestation. Trirupani Vishnani, the Karnadakasai Vishnu, Garbhadakasai Vishnu, Kshiradakasai Vishnu, expansions of Lord Sri Krishna, plenary expansions of Lord Sri Krishna. And it's all pervading, it's pervading entire creation. And in the 7th chapter beginning also explains 3 energies of Krishna: internal energy, external energy, and marginal energy. And the in charge for external energy is Srimati Durga Devi Mataji. She's also pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. That's why Krishna says, even my external energy is very difficult to overcome. Mama Maya Durachya. So why? Because Durga Devi is a controller and she has a full what you call control of the external energy, and she's powerful. Why? Because she's devotee of Krishna. And if we also surrender to Krishna, we can become as powerful as Durga Devi, right? But even the external energy also energy of Lord Sri Krishna. So that again confirms here is all pervading. It doesn't matter material creation, spiritual creation, Mars, everything belongs to Krishna. Everything emanates from him, and everything is situated within him. This is beautiful. Everything is The origin is Krishna. Everything comes from Balaram, Chaturviha expansion, then secondary expansions. Then we have the Mahavishnu, Garbhodaka Sai, when he exhales, universes form, and he inhales, energies get destroyed. All this is coming. That is what the meaning of everything is situated within him. So this is the knowledge that Krishna is providing us. What we have to take, like, what is the conclusion of this one? Okay, the conclusion comes in the next sloka also. I just wanted to summarize next one. Krishna beautifully explaining here that sorry, I switched one thing. Next, here is saying that of the best Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogis does or does not come back. So beautiful. Okay, this context is made. Some yogis does or some may not come. So what does it mean? Krishna giving a full knowledge here about like who after leaving this body, who can go back to Krishna and who cannot go back to Krishna. What is the criteria for going back to Krishna, basically? Right? What are the criteria? And Krishna explains here in the early Bhagavatam shlokas, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaneti, Sabhyate. The absolute reality can be perceived in three different ways. What is impersonal Brahman and localized Paramatma and as a Bhagavan realization, right? So, and this also explains that what is the destination of each yogi. Everybody is a yogi, right? Everybody want to link with the God, but in a different ways. The perception of the absolute reality is very different. Yogis, Mayavadis, they wanted to just surrender to his energy, light energy. What is their destination? And yogis, their localized form of Krishna, Paramatma realization, what is their destination? And finally, a devotee, what is their destination? Here Krishna is saying that yogis does or does not come back. Means some yogis can go to Krishna, some cannot go to Krishna. And then in the next chapter, Krishna explains who can go to Krishna, who cannot go to Krishna. Right? And this also explains in Brahma Samhita, one of the shlokas, and this is very, I think you all perfectly know this one. Advaitam achyutam anadi mananta rupam adyam purana purusham navayavvanancha vedeshu durlabha madurlabha matma bhakto govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So beautiful. Here, I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, who is inaccessible to Vedas. Look at that. Some peoples, we have Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, they're masters in the Vedas. Viveka Veda, two Vedas, three Vedas, four Vedas, but ultimately they don't know the purpose of Vedas. They don't know what is the purpose of Krishna. I'm sorry, the ultimate goal of knowing Vedas is to know Krishna. And they forget the main purpose, but they become masters, they become knowledgeable, they become proud of their knowledge. But look at, but obtainable, pure, unalloyed devotee of the devotion of the soul, who is without a second. Krishna is without a second. So here explaining that the Supreme Lord doesn't need a greatest knowledge like yogi or philosophers, Krishna needs a very simple heart with a devotion to him. Even if you don't know Vedas, that's okay. If you know Krishna, is it as equivalent as knowing four Vedas? Vedesya sarvam hame vedyo vedanta krut veda videha chaham. Krishna says in 15 shloka, the ultimate compiler of Vedas is Lord Sri Krishna. Ultimately, the purpose of Vedas to know Krishna. If that the purpose is not done, it's just a waste of time, I would say, right? So in the same way, a lot of yogis that for knowledge, they proud of, they puffed up with their knowledge, etc. But ultimately, Krishna is not looking for your mantra, yantra, jantra. He's looking for a simple devotion. a simple devotion. That's why Krishna says, 9th chapter, a patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhakta prechati. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos to achieve Krishna. A simple heart, a simple housewife without education, taking care of family nicely, serving husband and wife and praying to Krishna, very simple chanting, she can definitely go back to Godhead compared to greatest Vedic philosophers. That is what confirmation here, okay, in the next sloka, which we are going to read today. Okay, so I can take next one. This, oh, sorry, not here, here, 823. And today's sloka is 824. What here explained is very, this sloka I just recite. And can you please all unmute? We are all day working in the mute form only in the computers. Why don't you unmute now and open your mouths? That would be great. We are reading Bhagavad Gita, please. Okay, we want to be, we don't want to be impersonal. Show your faces, you become personal. We are not Mayavadis, please. And put all your faces, smiling faces on the computer, please. Okay, we are not impersonalists. If I see your name, that's impersonalism. If I see your face, that becomes a personalism. Okay, we are personalists, please. Okay, so let us do 824 here. Okay, let us repeat. Please repeat, everyone. Agnir Jyotiraha Shukla
Agnir Jyoti Shukla
Tanmasa Uttarayanam
Sanmasa Uttarayanam
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Tatra Prayata Gachanti
Brahma Vido Janaha.
Brahma Vidojanaha.
Translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Those who know the Supreme Brahman,
Those who know the Supreme Brahman
attain the Supreme by passing away from the world,
attain the Supreme by passing away from the world
during the influence of the fiery god,
during the influence of the fiery god
in the light, at an auspicious moment of the day,
at an auspicious moment of the day,
during the fortnight of the waxing moon,
during the fortnight of the waxing moon,
or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
or during the 6th month when the sun travels in the north.
That is called Uttarayan, right? When after Maha Sankranti, I think in January 14th or something, then the Uttarayan comes, and this is an auspicious day to leave the body, something etc. like that. Okay, so then we'll read what Prabhupada explaining here, then we'll try to elaborate for 10-15 minutes. Okay, I would like to have some volunteer to read the purport, please.
When fire, light, day, and the fourth night of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that over all of them there are various preceding deities who makes arrangement for the passing of the soul. At the time of the death, the mind carries one on a path to a new life. If one leaves the body at the time designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahman Jyoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and the place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for the pure devotee in a Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment by accident or arrangement.
Yeah, so beautiful, Prabhupada. See, that's the beauty of Prabhupada. Every purport, conclusion, Prabhupada puts Krishna consciousness into perspective, right? I mean, that's the greatest of reading all this. Because when we read in the final statement, he gives a hope for everyone. What is the hope? Krishna consciousness. When you're Krishna consciousness, nothing to be worried. Because Prabhupada, on the first few lines, people make arrangements, what time I'm going to die, what movement, Uttarayan, Dakshinayan, with the fire, day, light, moon, fortnight, etc. All these things for matter only for the non-devotees, including Mayavadis and also yogis, because they look, yogis, because of their yogic power, they may leave their bodies as per their own wish and will. So and so time, so I want to go back, and they may be successful or may not be successful at that point, right? And in case of impersonalists, Brahma Jyoti, they may make arrangements, but they may be successful or not. If they are not successful, if they die in an inauspicious moment, they have a different reactions on that one. Prabhupada puts here, right? But it is possible for him to attain impersonal bhakti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga can arrange the time of place to you. Others have no control, okay? No control others. Because assume that a person who doesn't belong to neither transcendental, neither Brahma Jyoti nor mystic yoga, what is their destination? So that's why Prabhupada is writing here. But in the case of devotees, if you have taken up Krishna consciousness, if you have taken the good name of Krishna in your life, in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning. What is that? Mamapecha punarjanma dukkhalayam ashvashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Beautifully says the 8th chapter, right? Dukkhalayam ashvashvatam. This is not our permanent place. If it is our permanent place, why we are not staying here? Why we are dying here? We know that it's not permanent place. Again, you take next word. You are dying. Why you are dying? Because it's not permanent place. If it's a permanent place, you'll be staying there. So we have to realize that where is my permanent place, where I am going to, the place of permanent place where I am not going to die, stay forever, that is my permanent place. When that place is called Goloka. So that is what Prabhupada is beautifully putting here, that look at that, not into the cycle of birth and death. That is the biggest problem of this birth, death, old age, disease. And the solution is clearly given, that whoever takes up this devotional service, no fear of returning. Okay. And then what is the question of not returning? It means we are not going to come back to this material world again. You will go back to Krishna. And other one is, in case of devotees, we have no fear at what time I'm going to leave my body. Everything is in auspiciousness. Why? Because Krishna is absolute. Absolute means what? Absolute value of -4 is +4. Absolute value of -10 is +10. So in case of Krishna, there is no negativity. There is no negativity. Krishna is absolute. And Krishna is absolute. And when you take the association of absolute, you will become absolute as well. There is no negativity. Everything is a positive. Krishna puts very beautifully that, there is a shloka in Bhagavatam, Narayana para sarve nakutaschala vidyati svargeshu narakeshu apavargeshu tulyata darshanam. Beautifully writing that I am a devotee of the Lord. I have no fear where you put me, Krishna. Swarga or Naraka is equal to me. Why? Because as long as I am situated in your transcendental loving service, I don't care. It's your choice. See, a lot of people say, I want to go back to Godhead. A pure devotee doesn't even aspire for that one. Krishna, I am yours. You do whatever you want me to do it. Okay, I'm not aspiring. I just want your pure bhakti. The famous of Seventh Goswami Bhaktivinoda Thakur, writing one of the books, says that, and his desire, even if I become a dog in the devotees of houses, I am okay, as long as I am hearing your glories and your kirtan. So look at his humility, how he came down and telling that. That is the humility of a Vaishnava, that I don't care, Krishna, where you put me. For me, everything is happiness. Why? Because I am situated in a loving service, in devotional service. If that is there, for me, I put in Swarga, Naraka, doesn't matter. Lot of people, we think they have money, they can enjoy. No, they can enjoy. Money is not a root. Money is a useful up to a certain extent. Beyond that, the devotional practice, happiness, these things doesn't come from the money. It comes up to a certain level, but beyond that, we have to have a God-conscious activities. So, and if money was the root for everything, why people in the Wall Street, billionaires, end of the day, they die, suicide, etc. Because the lack of spirituality, lack of godliness. These are the factors that we have to take into consideration. And that's what Prabhupada is so beautifully putting, that it explains. And other Brahma Sutras, see, again, in the previous location, we were explaining that Krishna is the source of everything. And that also confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam Shloka, actually, that is 1.3.28, says that Etacham Shaukalau Pumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Rajanti Yuge Yuge. Why people ask, why Krishna, why not other gods, and why other gods cannot give? Here it explains very clearly that, and Krishna is a Parama Purusha, like Purna Purusha, 64 opulence, 64 qualities, 100%. All of them were mentioned incarnations are either plenary or portions, but Krishna is a Purna Purusha, 64 qualities completely, and is in Goloka Vrindavan. And in Goloka Vrindavan, the description of Goloka Vrindavan in Brahma Samhita, Brahma explains so beautifully. What is that? Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Look at that. Millions of Lakshmis are serving in Govinda in Vaikuntha planets. And that is the opulences of Govinda. And in Goloka Vrindavan, where Srimati Radharani and Lord Sri Krishna, they come out for a walk in the evening time. All the trees, all the stones present in spiritual world, they want to serve Krishna because everything has a consciousness. When they come out, all the stones will become so smooth, and they want to give pleasure to Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And all the trees, they bend and they pay obeisance to Krishna. So that is the nature of the spiritual world. That is the place where we wanted to plan to go. Well, we all plan for vacation for Hawaii, we plan vacation for here and there. Then when you come back, you have to deal with the same rut again. You have to open your emails, you have to go through all the problems and everything again. That cannot be solved by just going here and there. Now we came from India to America to better our lives. But what next best thing better than America now? I can only see Goloka Vrindavan, not Hawaii or anywhere else. Okay, so that's what we have to plan for that one. You go Hawaii and you happy, enjoy 1 week, then the last day, then start breathing. Oh my gosh, I have to go tomorrow and again start working for these things. Okay, so what kind of life is that? I don't want that life. I know where I want to go. Prabhupada, by mercy of Guru and Prabhupada, we know where we want to go. We are focused on that one, where there is Dukkhalayam Ashwashvatam, where there are no miseries. What is that called? Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartano Arjuna. Punarjanma navidyate. Krishna giving 100% quality assurance that you come to me, you don't have to go back again. These are the things we need to try. That's what here, beautifully in the translation, explained that very beautifully, how different people, they choose when they want to die. And sometimes they have no choice, they have to die like a dog. A dog dies and human dies. What's the big difference? And a dog dies without knowing who God is, and man dies without knowing who God is. No difference is there, no big deal. But we have taken this human form of life after many, many lifetimes, from 8.4 million species of lives. Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavaraha Lakshavimshati, Pakshinam Dashalakshanam. Out of 8.4 billion species of lives, 800,000 species doesn't work. Did you observe in time? 800,000 species doesn't work. They don't work, but they're surviving happily. Only 400,000 human beings have a problem. 400,000 have a problem. Why? Our expectations are very high, and our requirements are very high. Nobody can live without cell phone. Nobody can live without internet. Our life is depending on so many artificial activities, and finally we are going away from reality to the unreality. Nowadays, metaverse is the biggest one. Companies changing their names. Metaverse, metaverse, metaverse. What is metaverse? The virtual reality. Virtual reality. What is virtual reality? You sit in your house, you experience everything in the room itself. Like you're having a big house. In that house, you're going here. In that house, you're cooking. So that feeling, that mental feeling is metaverse. People are trying to come with the metaverse activities. Facebook changed their name to metaverse now. Right? But Krishna has given a better metaverse for us. Goloka Vrindavan is saying you don't have to assume anything. Reality is there. We are not accepting that metaverse. That's a problem we have. Krishna has given metaverse. You come to Goloka Vrindavan, you won't die. You have no disease. You can eat as much as you want. And you'll be always young 16 years. You don't have to color your hair. You don't have to go for manicure. You don't have to go to pedicure. You don't have to anything. And everything is free in the spiritual world. That is a metaverse we are looking for, but we don't have trust in that metaverse. We are trying here, okay, artificially enjoy, sitting in the room. Everything is coming like that. That is a really insane when I heard that name, virtual reality. Why? We have real reality is there. Why we have to go to virtual reality? Real reality is Krishna. And he's giving, everything is mentioning in this purpose, what the reality. And we are really living in the perverted reflection of spiritual. We are perverted in this meditation. We are living in this one. So we need to look for that kind of. Here Krishna is beautifully saying that how you come to me, no problem. You'll be taken care of. You have an insurance policy, right? Insurance people come. If you die, your family gets 1 million, right? And they enjoy. Then they fight. Brother and sister, their brother, they go to court. No, I have to get 600, you have to get 400. They don't even remember you. First Sharda, your picture will be in the first room. Second Sharda, it will be a picture in the second room. Third Sharda, it will be in the garage. Fourth one, it will be thrown in the garbage. That is the reality. When you are living that reality, we know what we want in our life. We have to be very reality. Krishna is telling everywhere, and Prabhupada saying time and again, what's the reality? And we have to be under Krishna consciousness. Okay. So here, I just wanted to talk about different, why Krishna has, no, not here. Give me 1 second, I'm getting confused. 1:3:28, yes, this is the one. Third chapter, yeah. So here, I've just wanted to glorify Krishna's 64 opulence, how beautifully Prabhupada writes here. The Sammambhavanam Krishna is one without a second. We know that Advaita Machitam. Advaita means without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakasha, Tadekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilasa, Avatara, Avesha, and Jivas. All provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons. Learned scholars in the transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Sammambhavanam Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of the attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes, 10%, 64%. And his expansions, personal expansions such as Swayam Prakasha, Tadekatma, up to the categories of the avatars who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess up to 93% of these transcendental qualities. Lord Shiva is, who is neither avatara nor avesha, nor in between them, possess almost 84% of the attributes. Look at that, how these attributes reduces. But the jivas are the individual living beings in different status of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. Here, right? Jivas. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of pious life of the living being. The most perfect living being is Brahma, the supreme administrator of the universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All of the demigods have the same attributes in less quantity. So here basically, why Krishna? Because Krishna has a 64 opulences, 100%. Okay, and 64 attributes and 6 opulences, 100%. Beauty, fame, renunciation, etc. So that is what Prabhupada writing that Krishna is saying exactly what is the destination of the different living the human beings, where the Mayavadi's destination, and where is the impersonal the yogi's destination. But coming to devotees, what is their destination? How they can go back to God. And also that was also confirmed that now how the art of this Krishna consciousness is that art of dying, right? We teach art of dying, and people go for art of living, right? But ours is art of dying technique. How successfully we die. Okay, living, that's okay. Dogs are living, we are living. We're all struggling. Nobody is happy in this material world. First of all, right? Everyone is unhappy here. Okay, if somebody is claiming happy means there's only a gap between two miseries. That's all, right? Everybody is okay. But ultimately, that the art of dying, look in the Bhishma Deva, etc., and Dhruva Maharaj, how they are persistent, achieving their targets of devotion. Sir, Dhruva Maharaj is only 5 years old, and he achieved what he wants in his life. And he went with the material desires. Finally, he was able to achieve Lord Sri Krishna. After looking at Krishna, everything was like a broken pieces of glasses for him. So we also have different desires, nothing wrong in that, but as we practice our karma Mishram Bhakti, Jnana Mishram Bhakti, that will be purified, and ultimately Krishna and Prabhupada. However, for the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning. Look at that, how powerful statement coming from the Acharya like Prabhupada, saying that there is no fear of returning. And we are not fear. Even if we are returning, yeah, we don't mind. Whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or by arrangement, we all leave it to Krishna. A lot of devotees have a question like, I am chanting. What happens if I go into a coma at the time of death, right? Or, if I die accidentally. And sometimes, it's very, very, the death is very powerful in the sense that I was reading a book from our, that he comes to our Jagannath Prabhu, right? Maharaj, what is Maharaj? I forgot his name. From Puri Jagannath he comes. That Maharaj wrote book.
Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj.
Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj. He wrote a book called The Death. I was reading that book. He said the death is as painful as 60,000 scorpions biting your body at the same time. That powerful death is. At that time, we talk, I'm giving nice class here, sitting in a AC, hot room, and the light and internet, everything is fine. But when we leave the body, it's not so pleasant. 60,000 scorpions, how painful, because our Atma is attached to our body so tight, it doesn't want to go from this one. In that case, how we practice that a death can come very easily for us. It is not that easy remembering Krishna's time of death. But we, throughout our life, we practice, and Krishna gives guarantee that that's fine. Even if you don't remember, I can remember you at the time of death. That happened to Vishnu Pitamaha. Vishnu Pitamaha was the 14, 15 days lying on the deathbed, and he's a pure devotee of Krishna, and Krishna knows that. And at that time, not only Krishna came to give his darshan, also he wanted to glorify his devotee, and he brought all the Pandavas to a place where Vishnu Pitamaha, and asking him to teach Rajaniti to the Pandavas. Krishna could have taught that, as he taught Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But look at the mercy of Krishna, how mercy comes. Krishna is always merciful. My Guruvara says Krishna is responsive. A small action done for Krishna, he never goes waste. And he bought Pandavas, after doing oblation sex, he bought Pandavas, and the Pandavas were given instruction. He made Vishnu Pitamaha gave instructions, and even his final darshan, that Vishnu Pitamaha left the body. Look at how Krishna glorifies his devotees, and also he gives a nice darshan. So what I'm putting pointed is that we don't have to worry, as our duty is to Shravanam, Kirtanam, and associate devotee. That's all our duty. How I am going to leave my body, that is none of our business. That is Krishna's business. Krishna decides those things. Okay, we don't have to worry. That's what we're putting here, no? Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at auspicious or inauspicious. For devotees, what is that's why when I want to do certain things, I don't even look calendar, I don't look any lot of people know what tithi is there, this one. I'm very blunt. I say when Maha Mantra is there, when we are surrendered to Maha Mantra, why we have to see all these things? That's my thought. Okay. Only thing is chant few rounds of mantra and take the blessings of Guru and Prabhupada and deities and just do it. There is nothing like an inauspicious or auspicious moment. Everything is auspicious as long as we take the name of Krishna. So that would be the mood of the devotees. That's what Prabhupada putting there. We don't care at what time, at what moment. We are not looking, let this Uttara come, let this Amavasya come, this come, let me leave my body. We have no personal desire. Our desire is only to serve Krishna, ahetvuki apratihata, unconditional, unmotivated. Then rest of is Krishna what he wants to do it. So now I was listening to Shat Goswami's classes from Lal Govind Prabhu last 4-5 days because we are addicted to his classes. How our Goswamis of Vrindavan, he was talking about Jiva Goswami, he was talking about Raghunath Das Goswami, billionaire from West Bengal. How he Tucha Tirna Mashesha Mandala, it's a piece of grass for them all there. They're billionaires, but they came into the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is attracted to them? The pure bhakti of Krishna. That is what we have to anchor for it. Of course, telling is easy, but we have to take care of our own day-to-day activities also. But in spite of that, I was reading yesterday, dovetailing. Dovetailing means everything connected to Krishna morning. That's fine. We, as I said, nobody is happy. A billionaire is not happy. A person who doesn't have money also unhappy. Nobody is happy here. Okay, we have to. Only the happiness comes when you connect yourself and elevate your consciousness to the Supreme. Param is Lord Krishna. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have material here. So I would like to hear from devotees also on this shloka. With limited time, I was able to only. I just talking whatever coming from my mind. So honestly speaking, that's so please forgive me if something not related I'm talking here. So I would like to hear from all the devotees few words so that I can learn from them as well. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu. Please accept my obeisance, all Krishna Prabhupada. Thank you for the class. Very informative. I liked it. Prabhu, it's said that, if you die during the daytime as compared to dying in the night, so the person who passes away in the daytime goes, he doesn't come back, he doesn't return. I'm just trying to understand how does this reconcile with the earlier verses where it is said, whatever is your thought. Hello?
Yeah, 1 second, Prabhu. I'm getting call from office. I'll be back in 1 minute.
No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Hare Bol. Vinod Pranam. All worship Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, little. Thank you so much, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu. Such a wonderful class. Dear devotees, this is a time for discussion, any realization, comments, any questions. It's always it's mentioned that three people are, even just by the touch, just by the association, three types of people are get more benefit. Of course, the first one is the hearer. Second is the speaker. Third one is actually mentioned that those who ask the question, that means they listened, they are on the path of bhakti, they can, relate the topics which they are understanding so that they can clarify. So please go ahead if you have any questions, concerns, comments.
Yeah, Amritanand Prabhu had a question. Prabhuji, Haribol.
So I was asking Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu that somebody who passes away in the daytime, he either gets elevated or he doesn't come back from the circle of birth and death, correct? And in the earlier verses, we read that whatever one's thoughts are at the time of death, that's his destination. That's the type of body, karma and all those other things coming into play. So is timing of your death more important than whatever is your thoughts and karma?
No, it's generally my understanding. Krishna starts with these thoughts first. This is all coming in the later part. See that the sequence of how Krishna is revealing this to Arjuna. So Krishna is progressing that who can, conscious of Krishna. Doesn't matter whether it is, and the later chapter, later verses we'll see in the 26th and 27th verses. And Krishna says that doesn't matter any of this. Devotee is never bewildered or concerned about any of these things. Devotees, those who are conscious of Krishna, it doesn't matter for them, day or neither day, because of they are already liberated. This is the stage of liberation, but they are already liberated. The bhakti and the bhukti, or mukti and the bhukti, are the subservient of a devotee. Devotees are already liberated. That's why they are staying in the Krishna conscious stage. What we are speaking on the spiritual platform is beyond that, that how we can attain Krishna, the back to Godhead. There are 5 kinds of liberation.
But what about the non-devotee? Devotee is understandable, it doesn't matter and he doesn't even care.
Yes.
But for a non-devotee who passes off in the daytime, doesn't his karma and his thoughts at the time of death be applicable?
Definitely matters. And yes, Krishna is just briefing out to Arjuna, that is one who passes on the daytime. Krishna is not mentioning that whether it is a sinful or not sinful. As sinful, Krishna says that in the later, that sinful, those who are sinful doesn't matter. Those who are coming, who is coming? The Yamadutas are coming to pick him up. But those who are the pious, they go to the higher planetary system. So they have to stay there and then come back. Even non-devotees, they have to go through all the sinful reactions and activities. And one who passes on the daytime, yes, of course, and that provided he is finished with the karma, finished, he is not a sinful person. He is some extent, some way or other, that he got the opportunity to chant the holy name, and in the midst of the auspicious, that's why this verse is mentioning, the midst of the auspicious moments, one who passes the body. So these are the certain sub-criteria. One who definitely has the conscious, they will attain. One who is constantly thinking of him, he will attain. One who engages in his devotional service, he will attain. One who, remember him and at the time of, and they will attain the Brahman. They will attain, various stages. So all this, and Krishna further says, on the daytime one passes. Yes, I mean, he will not come back, provided that we should understand. And if you read Srila Prabhupada's purport, it is clear, provided that he is, free of his karma, free of his, he should be at least some extent devotee. So Krishna makes sure that, and it's also mentioned that one who passes on the day of Ekadashi, and many people does not do any kind of certain rituals. Those who passes on the Ekadashi, that means they considered that they attain the Vaikuntha, because of that's an auspicious time and day. So like that, those who are, I mean, first of all, those who can do that, that's only Krishna's mercy it happens, as another fact of it. Those who are pious, they are maybe in the past life, or they may be in the few millions of other lifetimes. They are devotees, but somehow or other they fall down over here and they couldn't do anything. But because of his, not just the case of Jada Bharata, third lifetime, doesn't matter, he attained the liberation because of, was completely pious of it. So yes, as one who passes on the daytime, provided his karma is free, is sinless, got the mercy, and somehow or other that that happens. I mean, we should connect all this together, isn't it? All these factors.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks.
there are so many things. I mean, Krishna says further, one who passes on the Uttarayana will not come back, but one who is on the Dakshinayana, he'll have to come back. One is on the night time, one who passes, he will have to come back. One is on the daytime, he will not come back. And one who is on the auspicious moments and the days, he will not come back. There are so many things Krishna says that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we should all connect together. The first two words of Krishna, that Andagale Jamami was Maran Mukta Kalevaru. And in order to attain that, one should practice. So this is in the context of those. Krishna is mentioning all this in the context of one who is Krishna conscious, or some extent, some degree of he is in Krishna consciousness.
Also, I think if I may mention something,
Please go
I
ahead.
was reading somewhere that it is also said that, I think it's also said in this particular verse that they go into the Brahma Jyoti, right? So if anyone who merges in the Brahma Jyoti will return back. Will return.
Yeah.
Right. So like even on the Kurukshetra, when you had various warriors and soldiers who were killed, some, not though Krishna didn't pick up any arms. So they merged with the Brahma Jyoti.
Yeah. There are two things, Mataji, here.
And they come back.
One is Brahman, another is Brahma Jyoti.
Correct.
Brahma Jyoti is an effulgence of the Krishna. Brahman is the all-pervading aspect of Krishna. So there is a mukti called Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti means he merges with the Lord, not Brahma Jyoti. Brahma Jyoti is an effulgence of the Lord, but Brahman means he completely merges with the Lord. Then he will not, will lose his identity when he merges with the Lord, right?
Maybe I misread in this particular verse. Then I thought I read Brahma Jyoti. Maybe I misread. Possibly.
So Brahman, right? Isn't it?
So the Mayavadi goes into Brahma Jyoti.
Brahma Jyoti, not the Brahman.
Yeah, they go to Brahma Jyoti.
But you don't return from Brahman, but you could come back from Brahman also, right? After
Brahma Jyoti, one who's
Brahman.
we have to check into that. I mean, Brahman is all the aspects. Krishna's potency is the Brahman. Or Brahmedi Paramatmedi Bhagavanidi Shabde.
Correct.
My understanding, one who reaches to the Brahma Jyoti, they can only go up to the Brahma Jyoti. They cannot enter into Krishna.
Correct.
Correct.
So Brahman is the Krishna's all pervading us. That means Krishna himself. That's in a different perspective. That's a Brahman. Brahma Jyoti is his effulgence of
The
Krishna.
effulgence, right.
So Mayavadis, impersonalists, they go to Brahma Jyoti, then they fall down. They will come back. The Sayujya Mukti, one who merges with the Krishna, they will not return. There is another question here. Hare Krishna, what is Uttarayana? Okay, there is Janagi Mother. So this is the fact of it. We know that sun planet rotates. Sun planets revolves itself and in the orbit. So every planet, every star has like that. And Jupiter rotates, right, to the sun, but the sun itself rotates, right? And sun rotate him, goes into this hemisphere of northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, right? So sun, when enters into the northern hemisphere, is known as Uttara. Uttar means north. Uttarayana. Ayana means rotating. So sun planet, globe enters into the Uttara, and then there is a time period, then comes to the Dakshina. That's from the December till mid of March, April. Yeah, April till that time, it is considered as Uttarayana, and from then June to we can say that at least by September, October, it is November, at least that is Dakshinayana. So that's the time. Then there are a lot of changes in the nature, like there are a lot of rains, all these things. And on the Uttarayana is an auspicious time considered, and the Dakshinayana is inauspicious time considered. That's the abode of Dakshina. When sun globe goes there, as actually an abode of Nairitya, called the abode of what is called the good and bad, the heavenly beings. The Dakshina towards the south is actually the abode of Yamalok, Yamaraj, and likes that. It's we are actually always look at the two-dimensional perspective, right? So we also should look at the three-dimensional perspective, and it goes like that. When we say that lower Yamaloka is the lower planetary system, but how do we say that whether it is upper or lower? That's a two-dimensional. When you look at the three-dimensional, the sun globe rotates all right. It goes all around. There is a book called Bhugola Tattva by I forgot the name of Maharaj, who is actually the spiritual university in Texas. He combines so nicely that how sun rotates. So actually, it's not that it's not an exact circlical or cycle. What is called circle, but in an elliptical way. Sun globe also rotates an elliptical, and Maharaj gives a very Dhanvir Maharaj, Dhanvir Goswami Maharaj, yes. So nicely mentioned those. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? What happened to Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu? Just.
He got the call from work, Prabhuji.
Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, Krishna says that my devotee. Yeah, go ahead.
One question I had when we we say that the whole life is preparation for death.
Yeah.
And so these timings, these tithis, these Uttarayana or Dakshinayana, they are not determined by us, right?
No.
And
Hmm.
the part that we have to do or we have to work on is our last moment thing and thoughts and how we are preparing for that last moment, right?
That's all.
So
That's all we can do. I mean, all we have,
yeah.
what we have ultimately is what all we have, nothing but a free will, that we can, an option, that a choice that we can take. Everything is there in this world. So all we have is one choice that we can take, that whether we need to take the Krishna or we need to take the Maya, right? So all that we have. Even we take the Krishna, then everything will come accordingly. If we take Maya, everything will come accordingly. That means we will get everything. If we choose Krishna, we will also get Krishna. If we choose Maya, we will also get Maya, no matter what. So all the choice, that's all up to us. Then all the other things which happens to us based on this in every lifetime, that the choice we select, the option we select, or the will that we choose for it. So everything is around that, that choice, that will, right? So sometimes it says that when you talk about business, like if you want to become a businessman, you have to talk about business, you have to think about business, you have to do about business and all those things. So he'll become a businessman. A rich man, he has to think about that. Okay, he wants to become a rich man, likes that. Whatever our choice, then things will happen accordingly. So that's our choice. Yes, everything else is arranged by the Supreme. So life is a preparation that we have to select that choice. We have to choose that properly and wisely, so that this human is very rare. That's why all these endeavor and efforts are made by Srila Prabhupada and Sri Krishna himself revealing this, because of human birth is very rare, and select our choice properly, right choice, what we need. We know that Krishna is revealing this transcendental truth. We are here in this material world entangled. We are in a prison house. We are, completely what is called controlled by Maya. But we have a choice that to come out of it, that to choose Krishna, to select Krishna consciousness and practice. So when we practice slowly, slowly, slowly by the potency of devotion, so we can overcome the Maya. Devi Yasha Gunamayi, Mamaya Durataya, Mam Eve Tarandite, Maya Mevam, Mam Evam Pravadyante, Maya Mevam Tarandite. Only by that, my devotion, by mercy of Krishna, that we can overcome. Otherwise, it's not possible. We are all completely, what is called, engaged into this material world. So all we have is this choice, option. So then we select that option. Krishna says that if you take one step, I'll take 100 steps towards you. So that's what is Krishna telling. So that if we take that step option, that Krishna consciousness, Krishna will make sure that at least 100, steps that, somehow we come through. And then we practice and we prepare, and our endeavor, devotion, mercy. The time of death, yes, Krishna will make sure that, and also Krishna himself makes sure that we remember Krishna or makes that arrangement. Krishna is so dear, and Krishna is so, any promises Krishna makes, Krishna will never go back from that promises. For devotees, he will do anything to upkeep that promise. For devotees. But yes, for non-devotees, it's a different story. So some extent, if you do that, Krishna will 100, that means is a guarantee, right? Trayado Vishayan, no, not that one. Neho Vikramana Sosti, Vatyavayo na Vidyade, Solpam Abhyasya Dharmasya, Trayado Mahado Bhayan. So that means from the death, Krishna will make sure that from the death, he can revive, he will save, he will protect. These are not ordinary words. This is, we can meditate all life for this one verse even. So take up seriously and put our choice correctly, work on it. So then Krishna will arrange everything. Doesn't matter whether it is Uttarayana or Dakshinayana or day or night or, non-Ekadashi or Ekadashi or, you are in the, rich or poor or black or white or whatever, doesn't matter for a devotee. So yeah, all we need to do is Krishna consciousness.
Okay, I had one
Yeah.
clarification to check with you. We say that there are 840,000 species, right?
8.4 million. 8.4 million.
8.4 million. So
Yeah,
from that, we also learn that 400,000 are also human forms, correct?
yes.
So in that category, we come. And so what are the other examples from that 400,000, like human beings?
Yeah, it's in the human beings, like it's all based upon how conscious you are. Devotees are the pure devotees are on the highest of that ladder out of 400, right? So there are people, those who still eating the humans, right?
Okay.
Still eating the dogs, right? Still eating the there's so many categories of the person. People are there in this world. Some worships Lord, some worship what is called Shakti, some worship even demigod, some worship a ghost, some worship goblins, some worship even even if you go to Kerala, you can see that some worship some kind of spirit, evil spirit, some kind of black magic, and some, there are so many types. We can see that varieties of we can call species. Even when we come to the we heard many times that Kim Purusha, right? Kim Purusha, what is the meaning of Kim? Kim means in Hindi or in Sanskrit like kyom or why Kim, why Purusha, then why Purusha, that's a literal meaning is why Purusha, Kim Purusha. So it's meaning that are you a human? There's a question is even the Kim Purusha resembles very similar to the human, but it's Kim Purusha because of there is a still slight doubt into that whether this is a human or a non-human, right? So it's a Kim Purusha, and like that, even in the human category, there are so many varieties of species like that, and some are dumb, right? Another species. Some are blind, another species. Some cannot even talk, another species. Some cannot even, doesn't have much brain developed. What they do, another species. We have still, there are people lives in Amazon. There are still people lives in so much of islands. They don't even know what is the other world. They are a human, but can we consider as a human? They still don't know. Like we recently we heard, right, 2 years back, there is an island somewhere that some people, some pastors or some Bible, some Christian people try to convert them and go there. They don't even know anything about anybody. There is another species. Even there is a form of human, but how people behave badly. Think about it. Why? They cannot come out of it. That's their mold. They do all these kinds of things. So I don't know how to tell this one. Actually, there are certain areas of the places people eat another human. Human eat another human, isn't it? Have you heard about it? Yes, there is. They like flesh of the human. It's called katala.
Unheard,
Yeah,
unheard of. But I'm not going to get surprised.
yeah. I mean, even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, it is mentioned about the Kali Yuga Varnana.
Yoga.
Means Kali Yuga Varnana. There it is mentioned that when there is a yuga changes, that time there is so much of heat, and sun globe even or Vayu god doesn't even give a drop of rain back to the universe, absorbs everything and completely, and everything will be, that time nothing won't be there in this world. And then that moment people start to eat each other because to survive. It's going to happen, as it's happening in many places. You know that, have you heard about that? People likes in China and all some places, the
They
most
eat dogs.
they eat dogs.
They eat
Okay,
dogs, yeah.
they eat dogs, but how about the fetus? They fry the fetus, human free fetus. It was a news. They eat. So think about this. These are slower species, even in the human.
Mm, mm.
But who is intelligent? One who is sumedasa, right? Sumedasa, one who is intelligent. So he can realize things, he can connect, he can relate, he can see things beyond. So how he is asking this question, what is this world? What is this nature? Who am I? What is my existence? Where I come from? And what is this all about? What is this light? What is this dark? He has asked Adado Brahma Giyasa, right? So this person is actually on the top of the ladder. So that's where the real human, and one who knows the dharma of a human, we can say that at least he is a human. Otherwise, we cannot say that he's in the category of that real human species.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in the Sanskrit he's called Chandala. He is a Katala. He is a what is called in Hunas, right? He is called Andrait, Pulindas, Hinas, and so many other words is used in the Bhagavad. Why? Because of the quality of a person. So the species is actually based on the quality and intelligence. So pure devotees are on the top of the ladder.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, I was dragged into between. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
I got a call from office. Sorry.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I went in
I
between. Sorry.
I hope everything is okay, Govardhan.
No, I got some production issue,
Okay.
They called me. I had to log into the system. Okay. That's the nature of the material world. Yeah.
Okay.
Prabhu, I just have one question. It's related to different thing. I'm at the temple. I'm looking for a Telugu Bhagavad Gita. There are devotees. Can you help offline, please?
Yes, I mean, if you go into the temple, that where we keep the books, the closets.
The rack in the front doesn't have it, so
yeah, go back side and open the door, and inside there is a box of Telugu Bhagavad or Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, it's there. Yesterday I saw it. On Sunday I saw it.
Okay, I will look for it. If I don't find it, I'll call back.
Yeah.
Haribo, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what is one thing, dear devotees. Please join the call tonight, and please try to distribute books. And that's we always say that this knowledge, these are the transcendental knowledge, is not ordinary. It's a very aprameya. That means only bhakta devotees can understand this, understand the value of this. So that you're giving a suburdhi. It's not that you're just giving out something or something like that. You're changing and transforming a person's whole lifetimes of karma just by your association, just by your mercy or giving out, or just holding this Bhagavad Gita itself in his hand, and you are saving this person from the death of Yamaraj. He will definitely get another birth. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that go out and chant the holy name. Go out and chant the holy name. all the trees and plants get liberation. See, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so powerfully mentioned, go out and chant. Even those who are hearing unconsciously, even they will get benefit and they will get sukriti. They will elevate to their next life. They will get liberation. So then think about that, this Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken by the Lord, which is the verse and the words, not different from the Krishna. So there is a book called Gita Mahatmya, which was compiled by Sri Shankaracharya, Gita Mahatmya. And it is mentioned that even a person inside half of the sloka of any of this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, not even half, even one line of Bhagavad Gita, even not even one line of Bhagavad Gita, if you have a glance of the Bhagavad Gita or some association of the Bhagavad Gita, or some touch of the Bhagavad Gita, his life is purified, his all the karmas and the sins are all goes away. So many times, in the time of death, when the, what is called, this sanskar, rituals, radha, we open Bhagavad Gita and read the verses of Bhagavad Gita. The soul doesn't leave immediately. It's not that, Yamaduta comes and pick him away for, quickly. It's not that. It takes all time. There is a period of time for everything. The maximum time is actually like 13th day, 15th day, 11th day, depends on his purity on this world. That's the time he is actually finally leaves this world to go to different, places. That's why we perform these rituals on this specific day, 11th day, 13th day, 15th day, things like that. That's the day. Till that time they are here. So then we perform this puja and all, and then they get some way or other they connected to, the soul is connected to the holy name, the book, the rituals, the sacrifice we do, whatever. So they get benefited. All right. So like people goes to the Ganges and they take a dip, so they get rid of all their sins. It's true. But the fact is they come back again and do other things and they accumulate again, but they get rid of all their sins like that. Just by a touch of this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and spiritual scriptures, darshan, that's called Sugurdi or Agyada Sugurdi. Unknowingly they get benefit or Sugurdi. So it's actually Srila Prabhupada took that. Srila Prabhupada understood that. That's why Srila Prabhupada took such an effort to translate and transcribe this into the various languages, and Srila Prabhupada took only trunks of books when he came and to distribute. Why? Because it's so important. So as a student, as we are understanding, it's very important that dear devotees, we give out to the people. Take some, like, how much effort Srila Prabhupada, how much risk Srila Prabhupada took. What we are doing, what we are taking. Nothing. We are in the comfort zone of everything. No, that's not. Krishna says that come out of this comfort zone and try to call, try to give, and at least, whatever you can do. He is the most dear to him. Yes, there are devotees, there are services, there are servants, there are all. But Krishna says out of all, one who does this one, he is the most dear to him. Why? Because of this is the way only that, we can transform and save the world. See, think about it, people like Chandala, those who are dog eaters, what they understand, they need mercy. People now it's worse than those Chandalas in this modern age. People eat anything they like. Worms, insects, dogs, oh my God. So what we call them? So do we think that, they have, so they all need mercy. So world need mercy of the devotees. That's why devotees are specifically Lord is selecting or appointing or giving that initiation, giving that title as he's a devotee. Das, Das, Das. This is the service, not that just the name. We get the name. What does that mean? There's nothing. Unless and until we fulfill that meaning. This is a service to the people, to the Lord. Any of this is actually a direct service to the Supreme. It's not that only just, go to the temple and do some service. Yes, but this is the most important service. This is a Pada Sevana. It's Krishna's lotus, taking the shelter and Pada Sevana. Directly worshipping the Supreme just by giving out a book to others. All yourself, not only, all your, it's mentioned in the this times back to Godhead magazine. I have that one. Millions of your ancestors are, millions of, it's not only you, millions of ancestors are actually purifies just by one action. So it's very important that we take this service to and give it to others, so that everybody in this world need mercy, and unless we take out, this won't happen. Srila Prabhupada transformed this world one person. So how much we can do? So we have to come out from this our comfort zones, call out the people, and talk to the people. Your families, think about how many families in your families or relatives that doesn't have the Bhagavad Gita or spiritual books. This is what is real devotion, dear devotees. Nothing else. That's a pure devotion and real devotion. Everything else is a little bit of what you say, we just making like, when will I finish my 16 rounds? We are just making it up. This is the pure devotion, coming out of our comfort zone and taking that real step, real position of a devotee, that to serve others, giving the mercy and serve the Lord. That's what is really, looking. The Lord is looking. What we are doing, we are humble, or I'm just, sitting on my own abode and just doing something. So please, I think so we have 8:30. So let's discuss,